Welcome to our Connie and John's hunting episode. This is probably my favorite episode yet. I cannot wait for you guys to experience this alongside us.
It was a pretty intense start to the show with that music. I don't know. It's going to lighten up a lot. We're going to share some recipes. We're going to talk about the hunting experience to us. It was very intimate, learning to where your food comes from and the stories behind it. I got some chestnuts, Connie.
Oh, these look so great.
There, let me peel one for you.
So tell me about how you prepared these, John.
Well, I scored them first. I remember back in the day we had an apprentice who forgot to score them, popped them in the oven. He was roasting whole.
I remember that.
And they were exploding like little bombs. It was pretty scary. So you got to make sure that you just score them with a knife, and then you can roast them over the hot coals, or you could roast them in the oven, and it takes about 7 to 10 minutes until they start splitting open. Put a little bit of sea salt from our friend from Newfoundland Sea Salt Company. It's delicious, some crunchy bits, and right?
It's so good. It's smoky, it's sweet. The salt flakes on it just make those flavors even pop even more. I love it.
So let's talk about hunting. We've done some interesting hunts, eh?
We have, yeah. So my very first hunting experience was with John, and it was about 5 years ago down in Savannah, in Georgia, and we were hunting gators.
It was pretty crazy. We had a bear hunt a few years ago with a really good friend Kevin, who taught us a lot.
Kevin and Jeff, yeah.
I think this last hunting experience, getting to enjoy it with our friends Mike and Mike, was amazing. And Mike O'Connor really shared a lot of his knowledge with us, and being young hunters and just scratching the surface of the stories behind it and learning the techniques of the hunt and really strategizing was an eye-opener for me. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the deer ends up walking in front of your sight. Sometimes that does happen, but sometimes you got to work for it, and you have a day where you're not successful, or you have a day where we ended up with a buck and a doe.
Yeah, and so we after we brought those home, we took them to our restaurant to butcher them. We made a ton of charcuterie with them, some really delicious whitetail kielbasa, pepperoni. We made some corned deer as well. And all of these we're super excited to take home to our families and teach our kids that food doesn't necessarily come packed all pretty in little cellophane bags at the grocery store. So they were pretty excited. I remember Annabella couldn't wait for me to show her the gutting of it.
Which we won't show today. But I tell you, it definitely was an amazing experience. And we just wanted to share some fun recipes outside. We love cooking outside. This is everything's going to be done over this wood-fired grill. And we're going to be here. You want to talk about what we're making today?
Yeah, so we're doing kielbasa chili dogs. I'm so excited to have these.
I'm glad you're saying that.
We're using the kielbasa that we made in our kitchen last week, and using straight up ground venison for the chili itself. We're going to show you some secret ingredients that we like to put in our chili. One of them is, of course, our Connie and John's beer.
Of course, you can't have chili without having Connie and John's beer in there.
Yeah. And then the chili dogs have some fun toppings like our pickled jalapenos, some cheddar cheese, and Fritos. And then we're going to repurpose the Fritos and show you our version of chili in a bag.
Yes, that one was new to me a few years ago. Connie showed me this. I didn't know that a bag could be the vessel you're serving chili in, but it's fantastic. Connie, I'm not sure you noticed, but I brought out this pepper shaker.
I did notice that. That's amazing.
It says,
you
"Happy
still have
Birthday, John, 2002.
It's engraved.
This was a gift from Connie and Mike, the person that we're going on, one of the Mikes that we're going on a hunt with, back in 2002 when we all worked together in a restaurant called the Owl's Nest before I moved to New York and before Connie moved to Germany. It's a very special gift, so I busted out the nice pepper shaker here today for today's recipe.
Well, it stood the test of time. I love that you still have it.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we have lots of stories, and let's get cooking. Let's go get the ingredients and start prepping.
Let's do it. Let's fire it up. All right, let's do this.
Let's get cooking. I'm gonna dice up some onions. You just tell me what you want me to do.
All right.
I'll do all the hard work. Try not to cut my fingers off since it's minus.
It's about -10 out right now.
Well, we can exaggerate. No one knows. It's -40 and we're freezing. This sucks.
Okay, so John's chopping an onion, just a small yellow onion. I'm gonna add some oil to the pot. That pan is really hot behind us. I was heating up while we were chatting.
Let's see if we forgot anything. I guess we'll find out. This is a one-time take because we're not going to be dicing more onions and no, it's
Absolutely not.
so I'm gonna just bring over this cutting board over top here and scoop it in.
Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle.
Stir it up.
All right, so next we've got a couple stalks of celery
Some celery,
and some local carrots there.
some carrots, winter carrots.
Just rough chop everything. Ooh, really nice.
How's it
fire.
looking? Fire's good?
Fire's great.
See, I can do things.
This is how you don't have to peel the carrots.
Well, these ones I
So-
washed really good.
This is a rustic chili.
Are you trying to say that my cutting skills is worse than an apprentice? I want it nice and rustic. I want big chunks of food that I can tell what it is. Okay, we're gonna do the garlic last. I just don't want it to burn.
That's a little chunky. That
I like
piece
that
there.
one. I love that one.
That'll be John's carrot.
She always says, this is what it's like every day working with her. She's so judgmental.
Those who know, know.
And those who know. Okay, so some little garlic. I'm just gonna do some beautiful slices.
What? Tell us, John, about your time spent in Italy and what they taught you about garlic. Lots of people don't know that.
Well, I mean, if there's any green, you take out that little bit of green, which I just did.
Like when garlic starts to sprout in
It's
your
very-
pantry.
Yeah, it's very bitter. I mean, I learned a little bit. I don't know a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not very good. I'm good at like 3 things.
I remember working at Chez Panisse. I got in trouble for smashing a garlic clove once. You never smash it. You peel them gently.
Gently.
And
As
slice them.
As Japanese, very gently. Do not hurt the vegetables. Don't hurt them, Connie.
Okay, so these are looking like they're sautéing really nicely. Should we add some spices now?
Okay, I'm gonna add some spices. I want to toast the spices. So I have one that I like to add, and Connie was a little shocked. I mean, every once in a while I get a say in some things, and one was some of the spices. I use 3 main spices in my chili. I think Connie has the same ones, right?
Yeah.
Except for I add a little bit of garam masala. I love that flavor. It has like this really sweet spice undertone to it. I don't use a lot, so no one can really identify what it is, but the 2 predominant ones are cumin and chili powder. So I just add them all in, quite a lot. About 2 tablespoons of chili powder.
And is that a mild chili powder?
It's a mild chili powder, yes. And then some fresh ground cumin. So I grind my cumin. I use quite a lot. About once a month I do a jar of cumin.
The cumin's really nice. It'll add a really nice smoky flavor to it, in addition to the smoke that we're getting off of the coals underneath.
And then I'm gonna add just 1/2 of a teaspoon of
The
garam
secret
masala.
spice, secret curry.
No one knows. So we're gonna keep on sauteing it. You can really start to smell the spices. It brings them alive, and that's why you have to toast those spices. Another thing is how we're gonna develop some of this sauce after is we're going to be deglazing it. After we add the tomato product, we're gonna deglaze it, and then we're going to be adding in some of the stock. But it's toasting really nice. We're gonna take this part out and we're gonna put it into a container because we want to then saute the meat after that. So I'm gonna just move some of my vegetables here, and we're going to some of the little skins of the. Let's take that out.
Oh, it smells so good.
We're gonna put some more olive oil in there. I'm gonna saute them separately. Put some more olive oil in there. Let me get that. Look! Oh, look at that, Connie and John's olive oil.
Look at that.
So that's it's funny because the orchard is in Angel Camp in California. Peter and his family, who we've been working with for a very long time, for probably close to 20 years. We've been buying his olive oil since back in the U.S. At the St. Regis and the restaurants there, all the way to this day. We're the only Canadians that have this olive oil. It's our favorite olive oil.
It's so delicious. It's so buttery, and it's a perfect finishing oil as well because it doesn't have that like really spicy, grassy finish that a lot of olive oils have. So it's great drizzled on virtually anything.
It's amazing.
So I'm gonna add the ground venison to the pot now.
Yeah, we got 2 pounds.
There's garlic left in there. We don't want it to
Yeah,
burn.
get that out. So there we go again, messing things up. I am. So, you hear that sauteing? Oh, that's good. So once we brown this, we're gonna add the vegetables back. At this point, we add a little bit of salt. I like to salt it, so we're gonna use some of our friend's salt again.
And we can also throw on, we've got a little loin steak here that we cut off the back strap. And John and I both love having chunks of meat in our chili as well, not just all ground. So
that's great. It adds that texture to it. So we're gonna grill it off, get a nice char, smoky flavor to it, and then we're gonna dice it up and add it to the chili and let it slowly cook. It's looking delicious, honey.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. So it's browning up. While it browns up, I think I'm gonna eat some Fritos.
We're gonna have to watch our fresh cilantro here too. It looks like it might be freezing.
It's starting to freeze. Absolutely. So yeah, then after we have our kielbasa here, these are our kielbasa that we made. We also have a pork and beef kielbasa that we have at the Charcut Butcher Shop that you can order online at our online butcher shop. It's looking getting pretty nice and brown. I think we'll add the vegetables in. And then we're gonna add the tomato paste in. Get those added in there. Add a little bit more salt. I'm gonna add some tomato paste, and then we're gonna stir it up and cook out the tomato paste. And then we're gonna start deglazing it with some Connie and John's beer.
Yum. So just a couple tablespoons tomato paste.
I did 3. Is that enough? Is that okay? You said a couple.
Looks good to me.
Oh yeah. Okay, I cracked this open. We're gonna start deglazing it. It's getting.
Yeah, our meat is nicely browned here.
So I'm gonna deglaze it. We're gonna get all those little bits of flavor off the sides and off the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Like fizzing up there. There's a lot of beer there.
Whew.
Enough liquid just to cover all the meat and the vegetables. And then we're gonna add in about a half of a can of some good quality San Marzano tomatoes. Same ones that we use at the Connie and John pizza.
You can just
Crush them.
smash those against the side of the pot. Again, really rustic.
Rustic is our excuse to make it the way that we're making it right now. Rustic. You notice how Connie says rustic a lot whenever I'm actually doing some of the stuff. That's great. It's slowly cooking now.
All right, I'm gonna pass this steak
Okay.
off to you.
For
I've
sure.
flipped it.
Okay.
We can
Just
dice
it
that
up.
up.
Okay. Let it rest 10 seconds.
Sure.
Nice big chunks. Again, we just wanted a nice char smoky flavor. And then I'm gonna cut some big nice chunks in there.
I'm gonna rinse off this spoon in the chili so we can taste it.
All right. Gotta taste it. Make sure it tastes good. This is feeding both our families tonight. So, okay, I'm gonna move this over. Slide this off. Nice diced pieces.
Beautiful.
Nice texture there.
And grilling that loin steak is gonna add such a nice smoky flavor to it.
So we're gonna move it over here on a low heat, and we're gonna cover her up and let it go. Checking it every 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes, stirring it, and then it's gonna cook for, I don't know, 3 hours. I mean, we have lots to talk about, lots to do. And we're gonna call Mike later, right?
Yeah,
I think.
let's do it.
Right, and then we gotta cook some
Some more kielbasa dogs.
Dogs. Well, let's hope that chili doesn't take too long. It's cooking away there. This is I'd like to introduce you to my puppy. His name is Hunter. He's gonna be our hunting dog.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's part lab retriever and shepherd. So, and probably he's a good swimmer. Probably good for some bird hunting. Connie, you were talking about some pheasant story from back in the day. What is this pheasant story you keep on talking about? I don't remember.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's not necessarily my most proudest moment. But when I was an apprentice, we had a tasting for a couple that were getting married, and they thought it would have been really nice for them to eat the fruits of their hunting labor at their wedding. And so they brought in some pheasant for us to cook for them. And John always arrived at work like 2 hours before everyone else. So he had it all prepared in our line fridge, and we had no idea what it was for.
I didn't know you were talking about this story. This is rough. I'm just going to interrupt because I don't want to talk about this. I have like serious PTSD about this. Anyways, they came in. I'm just going to cut it short. Connie and Mike, actually, they came in to get ready for the line. We had a busy service, and they saw this food inside the line fridge, all prepared, and they thought it was leftover from lunch, and they ate it. They ate my tasting that was for their wedding. Anyways, I lost my marbles. I sent everyone home except for Connie. It was punishment of Connie. Really, it was because she could do a lot more work than all the other guys. And we ran the service ourselves because of how angry I was. But I don't even like talking. Why are we talking about that story? We're talking about happy stories now. Yeah. So I mean, it's we got our hunting dog. It's we're looking at doing a hunt coming up for some wild turkeys and
mini turkeys for our holiday dinners.
Yes. So who knows? Maybe we do another hunting episode. I think next it may be something a little bit different. We've already been talking about it. But yeah, so I mean, hopefully this chili is going to be, done in 3 hours. I think 3 hours. So we're just going to sit here, eat some more chestnuts, talk about old times. Connie and I have worked together since 1999. Connie, how old were you? 7 or 8?
Probably around that.
Yeah. I remember Connie has been 29 years old for at least 12 years, at least. So,
I may have even asked one of our media friends to fudge my age in an article he was writing for us, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't believe that. You would never have done that. You're too innocent. No, I mean, that was good times. We've had a lot of fun experiences over the years, and it was really great to bring back our good friend Mike Badke and learn all this hunting really history from Mike O'Connor. And it was a fabulous experience, and we're already planning our next year big game hunt, and hopefully we're gonna win the lottery for some of these tags. And I mean, it's great. These recipes that we're doing today, they could be done not only with game, but they could be done with this regular kielbasa.
Mhm.
We have a butcher shop, Charcut Butcher Shop, where you can actually order our our beef and pork kielbasa,
Mhm.
or you can order different steaks and all different cuts. We actually just launched it a few months ago, and it's been taking off. People are loving buying and stockpiling up on the Charcut charcuterie, and it's been great. So don't be afraid to adapt these recipes for at home using or if you have a freezer full of game meat like we do,
Mhm.
we have some enough for the year, which is a pretty great feeling, knowing that you could feed your family
Oh
for
yeah, I'm not going to be buying meat for a long time.
yeah. So it's fantastic. We're not saying don't go to the butcher shop to buy meat because we want you to support local too. But if you have the means to go out and hunt and actually fill your freezer, that's fantastic. I mean, most of my Christmas gifts are going to be packs of sausage that I'm sending to all my family in Saskatchewan.
Mhm.
I don't know. They've been all asking for it because they're like, "Ooh, my son's a chef, and I'm gonna get you a pack of this sausage, my mom." But
It's
so
really delicious.
it's quite good. So yeah, let's see how the chili's doing, and let's go grab those kielbasa and throw them on if the chili's ready. And
Yeah, we
I'm
got to
really
get the
hungry.
buns roasting, and then we'll prepare our Fritos for you.
I'm super hungry.
All right, here we go.
Put them on.
It's ringing.
It's ringing. He's not picking up. You're turning up the volume.
Hey, Mikey.
What's going on, buddy?
Guys, where are you?
There, let's show. Let me show. Let me. Let's see what. That's Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Hi.
Buddy.
Hey, you've got a good setup there, eh?
Well, yeah, we're just we are
Fire
just
in the oven or what?
yeah. Well, no, we got the grill going.
Nice.
We're gonna cook some of our deer that we got from our hunt.
Awesome. What are you guys doing?
We're gonna do some deer chili and then some kielbasa dogs. Connie says it differently.
Okay.
Dogs.
I don't
Chili
know.
dogs.
No.
So yeah, Mike, why don't you
The kielbasa turned out really well.
the what?
The kielbasa turned out really well.
It's delicious. Yeah,
Awesome.
it was a lot of fun. I was just telling everyone that we worked together since '99, a long time ago. Me, you, and Connie. Actually, Connie told a couple funny stories. I'll leave them to be surprises. But yeah, so where did you grow up,
That
Mike?
When I had a little bit of hair.
Where? Yeah, we both did. Where did you grow up, Mike?
I grew up in Nelson, BC.
Yeah. So did you hunt? Did you hunt a lot there when you were a kid, or your family?
Yeah, I did a lot with my uncle. We
Oh.
used to go pretty much every weekend during hunting season.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we'd go for a lot more like mule deer and whitetail, elk, that sort of stuff.
That's awesome.
Tell us about your rifle.
Rifle I have is actually I got from my grandfather. He gave it to me when he was 94 years old. When he did give it to me, he thought it was. I asked him how old it was. He says it was about 5 years old. And I started thinking about it. He's like, "Oh no, it's got to be 35, 40 years old."
That's awesome.
So it's kind of an antique. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything with it this year, but there's always next year.
It's all right. We share, buddy. That's what it's
We
all
share,
about.
That's right. We share.
Yeah, we.
Gotcha.
You share. Thanks, Mike, for taking the time. We love you, buddy.
My pleasure. Love you guys too.
Here,
Talk
let's.
to you soon.
There goes Mikey. Say bye bye.
Bye bye.
That was amazing. He's been our good friend for many years. We've worked together. He actually worked with us at a restaurant too for a number of years. It's all about relationships, especially hunting. I find that there's a lot of bonding moments.
I love it. It's, I mean, as a new hunter, I didn't really know a lot about the full experience, but I mean, it's great spending the day or weekend with your closest friends and just kind of shooting the shit, and hopefully you come back successful, and if not, at least you'll probably have some fun stories to tell as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. So let's get see, I'm peeling these. I'm doing all your work.
Oh, thank you, John.
Since you do all the work at the restaurant, I thought I'd do a little bit of work here. Right? They're so good. So let's see how things are going, and I think we need to actually start doing a little bit more work. This is like we're taking it too easy.
Yeah.
We're taking it way too easy.
Let's get back in the kitchen.
All right, thanks. See you in a bit.
So now we're gonna grill our kielbasa dogs. So this is a recipe that we've had at Charcut for 10 years, really, since we opened. At Charcut, it's predominantly a pork sausage, and we cut up beef heart or bison heart sometimes as a garnish in the sausage itself. But this time we used about 50% pork to 50% of our whitetail. It's flavored with whole peppercorns, whole mustard seed, lots of garlic, and then it's emulsified really well. And the reason why we add the pork is because the whitetail is very, very lean, and so adding the pork just adds that unctuousness and juiciness to the sausage.
So, Connie, some of the people watching our show are going to wonder why did we not put beans in the chili? Because I like beans in my chili.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of beans in chili. I'm actually pretty surprised that I let you put vegetables in it anyway. I kind of like just all meat.
So this is kind of like an all meat on meat. This is chili with a little bit of vegetable garnish topped on top of meat, and then you're gonna put some Fritos for crunch, some texture.
It sounds delicious to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I kind of like. I think I would add beans. I like beans, but that's okay. All meat sounds pretty good to me. Well, it's time to assemble. This is going to be quite the meal here. Since we're going to be doing chili in a bag, I thought I'd bust out Grandma's finest china for the hot dogs. I don't know, what do you call it again, Connie? Dog? I don't know. So we're going to grab it. Over here, we're going to get a couple of these guys. I'm on a plate here, and I'm going to stuff them in the bun when I get back to the table. There we go. Okay, let's try and assemble this. Ooh, hot. Oh, that's perfect. Top cut bun. It smells so good. Gotta stuff it all the way in there because we have lots of toppings. So we got our chili. Spoon on some chili. All right. Gotta save some chili for chili in the bag. Right, we'll get it on there with that little bit of vegetable garnish and no beans, because Connie says no beans, even though as soon as she's not looking, I'm going to throw some beans in there. I'm just kidding. And then I'm going to take some cheese, some good old grated yellow cheddar, top it on top. It's going to get a little bit melty, a little bit, but still chunks. And then we got some pickled jalapenos here. I'm gonna slice these up. Some like them hot, some don't. I'm gonna put some pickled jalapenos all on the top. Oh yeah. And then of course, I'll chop up a couple of the cilantro. So good. And we can put some sour cream on top too, but we're gonna leave it off. I think these look pretty delicious.
All right, so I'm gonna pull the chili off so we can make our chili in a bag. All right, so we've cut the top off of the Fritos bag. And this works really well with the little individual bags. It's a little smaller.
This one's like family style. You can cut them lengthwise too. It's a bigger bowl. But we used like half the bag for all of our, we actually decided to garnish our hot dogs, the kielbasa dogs. The kids are eating them right now, and they have a bunch of the Fritos on top. So we only have a half a bag. So what do I do next?
So let's top it with some cheddar cheese. Get that
Okay.
melting on top of the warm chili.
How much?
That looks good. And then we'll chop up
Shake
some.
it up. Shake it up.
We'll chop up some jalapenos.
Okay, how much do you want? The our kids like hot.
Yeah, they like spicy. And that'll warm us up too.
Okay.
Sprinkle those on there, and then a little cilantro.
Okay.
And if you have some sour cream or any
Salsa.
salsa, oh yeah, would be really good on there.
And then you give it a little shake and a stir. I like to poke it down a bit. Mix it up a bit.
And
It's
then
a-
you stick a spoon or fork in there and eat it right out of the bag. This is your bowl.
with the fine china. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our cooking, Connie and John's show. It was a lot of fun today. We've been outside. It's actually quite warm, so you know, yesterday was almost minus 20 with wind chill. So we're fortunate today, and we had the fire to stay warm.
It's super toasty out here. We're in Canada. What else do you expect?
Stay happy and stay healthy. Enjoy.